Come on, boys. Come on. Come on. Yo, I thought it was over. I thought we were done and dusted. I thought the dream was over. And I was thinking to myself, how on earth are we going to get back in this game? We did nothing in the second half to show that we were going to get there. You know, I was just dreading the worst, man. I was thinking to myself, if we get knocked out the Carabao Cup, I think this whole season's over. Lord knows what tomorrow says if we get knocked out today, because we need the Carabao Cup this season, yeah? In the context of this season, with how bad it's going, we need the Carabao Cup. So I'm so ecstatic that we've somehow bagged this victory. What's a penalty shootout? Incredible finishes, and we wonder to ourselves, we're seeing all these training compilations on social media, on Instagram and everywhere. Like, we're seeing these guys putting these nice finishes week in, week out. Why don't we see it translated over 90 minutes, my friends? Well, I think we can see the evidence with how we took our penalties tonight, because these were 4 world-class penalties. Cole Palmer, Palmer, burying it in the bottom right corner, and then our captain and Conor Gallagher. That's the penalty I want to see from my captain. That's the conviction I want to see. Right off with it, top left bins. And Nkunku demonstrating the type of finishing prowess I hope he can add to this team and start helping us with. Beautiful penalty, and then Mudryk with the composure to hit the bottom left corner. And how can we forget? How can we forget Petrovic with the decisive save at the end? Incredible save. I felt like he was going to have his moment, because when Trippier missed that penalty, I just watching the TV, I was like, this guy's going to miss. He's been having an awful month, mistake after mistake. He made the mistake to get us back in the game. He made that mistake, yeah, and I knew he was going to lack any confidence whatsoever, and he missed that. But I saw Petrovic dive in the right position to even deal with that shot if it came there. So it was no surprise to me that Petrovic would make the decisive save in the end. Incredible save. Hopefully this kickstarts his Chelsea career even more now. And my friends, we go through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. That's the second pen shootout today. I know that Fulham went through, of course, against Everton. Listen, this is our trophy to win. We needed some luck today. We needed some luck, because let's be serious, things weren't going our way. I mean, we're seeing 2 first half subs, you know, Levi Cole, Enzo Fernandez going off. We're seeing our typical one-dimensional, safe, boring possession football, which was costing us time and time again. Bro, I'm going to say what I've been saying for years. It's the first time I saw a natural left back and a natural right back playing on the same field together. Yes, we only saw it in the final 12-15 minutes of the game. But is it any surprise that when we had a little bit of, you know, quality from wide again, that we forced a mistake? My God, when I'm seeing the second half subs made by Pochettino, listen, man. Listen, this type of luck we got tonight, this is not typical. Let's hold our hands up. Caicedo should have got a red card in the first 2 minutes. I mean, what kind of tackle is that? Thank God he got away with that. Thank God there's no VAR in this tournament. We've been lucky that there's been no VAR in the Carabao Cup, because it has been helping us. It has been helping us. But I'm just thinking to myself, after that too, you're relying upon a mistake from Trippier to get us back in the game. Thank God Mudryk's there. But as I keep saying, you know, you have to force your luck. Pochettino, you have to force your luck. You know, you keep encouraging negativity with the football sometimes. This is a knockout round game of football where it's a one-off game. We have to do everything to win this. You know, thank God we blagged it in the end, because again, we're lucky. This is lucky. You know, I mean, you're going to be encouraging this football where I'm seeing, well, Gusto playing as a left back. You know what I mean? I'm seeing Disasi playing right back when my right back's in the field, but then he has to play left back. For what reason? When you have a left back on the bench and Ian Maatsen? I don't get it. You know, and Disasi, what can he do? One okay cross the whole game to absolutely no one. When he's got the ball out wide, he's playing it backwards. Of course he's going to play it backwards. There's the same thing on the opposite side as well too. You've got a guy who's got a right foot on the left. What's Gusto going to do? He's not going to control it on his left foot. Or he didn't play a single pass with his left foot, for God's sake, on the left. How are you helping this team? You know, how are we finding new avenues to break down this defensive Newcastle team that had like, what, 24% possession throughout this whole game? Please, Pochettino, you're not helping the team with these decisions. I'm sorry. Is it any surprise that once we saw Gusto on the right, I immediately saw like 3 or 4 crosses play from Gusto, crosses I didn't see at all throughout the majority of that second half, man. You know, and is it any surprise that was Gusto's cross to the back post, which caught out Trippier, and then we had Mudryk, you know, coming in, taking advantage of the mistake and opening his body up and bearing it bottom right corner. Please, you force your luck in this game, Pochettino, and you're not doing it enough for the team. You know what I mean? Like, yes, the injuries, whatever, we get it. But when you have decisions like this to make and you keep going for the safe, you know, passive option against a team that had no counter-attacking threat. I mean, the only reason why they scored today was because of our mistakes, which we force. But at the same time, do we not exasperate the mistakes we make due to the pressure we put on ourselves? Because, I'm not going to lie, do you see like much confidence in this possession game we have when it comes to breaking down low blocks? I don't see it. I don't see it, man. I'm sorry. I think we look very one-dimensional. You know, we kill our threat out wide. We had no natural winger, no natural fullbacks to carry us up the field. You know what I mean? And you're forcing so much of the guys playing the more central positions to do what? Well, they have to play this non-stop tiki-taka Barca, like fourth-dimensional football. Because I feel that's what we're relying upon, this fourth-dimensional football nonsense to try and just, you know what I mean, create decent opportunities on goal. Like, it's not enough, Poch. And I feel like after this game today, please, like, re-examine how you're setting this team up sometimes and re-examine some of the decisions you're making. Honestly, how the hell is Matson not playing more? I need to see more of that. Mudryk on the left-hand side, I need to see more of that as well too. Embrace some of what we have, for God's sake. Because, you know, when the chips were down and we were going for broke and we had nothing left, you were more than confident to play the left-back and right-back finally. But again, you know, to have the confidence when... to use them in the final moments when we... Bro, I can keep going on. I can keep going on. But I think that is just the prevalent thing I noticed from this game, man. It's the thing I noticed from this game that, you know, we're so lucky that fortune fell our sides. You create your own luck in this game. That's how this game works. And hopefully now Pochettino starts to just embrace what we have a bit more. Please, some of this over-management, overthinking nonsense. It's the Premier League sometimes, man. You know, most managers who try to, like, move too smart, they pay the price in the end. They pay the price. You know what I mean? So please, hopefully this is going to be, give us a lift now. 2 wins on the bounce, 2 home wins on the bounce, coming back when it looked like all hope was gone and we were down and out. And yeah, you know, at least we have some positives now to look forward to. You know, Nkunku's back in the team. Didn't really get to play much. As I'm saying, he had lacked much involvement in the game. He was playing more up front as a striker. I was hoping he might be dropping a bit deeper, receiving, linking the play. I guess in the context of this game, it was more about desperation modes. Let's try and get back in this game any way we can. So I guess, you know, this debut from Nkunku is not one to really take much from, to be fair with you. I think obviously our next game we play, again, I think against Wolves, that'll give us more of a big indication. Obviously big for Petrovic that he has this big moment as well too. Outside of that, I thought Conor Gallagher was brilliant throughout the whole game. I like that little moment where, listen, he was naughty. He was very naughty. Trying to force that penalty, you know, trying to simulate a situation then by just kicking out his right leg to try and force some contact. Listen, I get it. I'm okay with that. Come on, we're trying to get back in the game, for God's sake. We're 1-0 down. We've got barely any minutes left and we need the Carabao Cup, you know, so you need to do what you have to do. I got that. But I just thought that the ground this guy eats up, you know, the energy, the tackles, the last-ditch tackles outside the box, the slide tackles, the energy. He is our midfield this season, and, you know, the way he took that penalty with absolute aplomb, hopefully this gives him confidence now with this shooting, because I think that's been the only disappointing thing this season from Conor, is his shooting boots, because this guy normally gets these efforts on target. So now, hopefully, we start to see that side to his game creep back in. Outside of that, yeah, it's really hard to assess this game because I felt like we were losing this throughout. I thought Newcastle looked quite comfortable in terms of just like how they controlled our game, how they read through our attacking plays and our possession game. I think the only threats we had throughout this whole game was on the transition. Sterling, end product, was not there today. You know, that pass in particular to Nkunku where he overhit it with his right foot. I mean, come on. Yeah, I think he had to come off after that moment, to be fair with you. And this is the guy who's the highest paid player in the club right now, earning over 300 bags a week. And, you know, you can't even rely upon your star big money guy to be lifting the team in these moments. I think, yeah, that was always a bit of a mad one for me, to be fair with you. But outside of that, I'm trying to think of other moments in the game. I think Broja, you know, offside a few times. Listen, I'm just going to be patient with Broja because he's been out for so long that, come on, you can't be thinking a month of football is going to get him back to peak form. He'll need at least 1, 2, 3 more months, yeah. That's just how it works. Nicholas Jackson had an effort where, you know, it was a nice little bit of play with him and Armando Broja, and then he did a little spin, but he couldn't just get that effort on target. Listen, it was a very, very hard effort. If he had scored that, it would have been a top quality goal. But outside of that, there weren't many big moments. I think the biggest moment actually came from Raheem Sterling, where at the start, near the start of the second half, after, you know, we went 1-0 down, of course, he had that moment where he received the cutback. He opens his body up, he takes another touch away into the space, and then he hits it straight at the keeper. He doesn't rifle it into the top corner. That's a technique he should have used then. And, you know, when Sterling's missing efforts like that, you're thinking, okay, we've seen these games before. How many big moments are we going to get like this realistically? You know, I'm not too sure. Obviously, I think we should probably discuss the mistake we saw in defence today. The only real effort from Newcastle, of course, we gave them the goal. A very weird one. Levi Colwill, of course, he was caught up the field. Bit of a bad pass to Caicedo, caught him out. But then you're thinking, this is a controllable situation. It's a 3v1. I've got Caicedo, who's looking to drag back Callum Wilson. I've got Silva and Badiashile there. I don't know where the lack of conviction was. I don't know why they got so timid and nervous. If you had stuck your leg out and fouled him, he's not gonna get a red card. You would have got a yellow card. It was a very controllable situation. I think Silva let it go for Badiashile. I think Badiashile was very unlucky. I could see what he was trying to do. You know, he's trying to just keep his composure, play it around Wilson, but he didn't. You know, he didn't assess the way the ball was bobbling first, and that's why he got caught between his legs. And of course, Callum Wilson, a 1-2 record, what, 40-something goals in like 100 games. I mean, the guy knows how to score in this league, and you make a mistake like that for him, obviously he'll punish you. I did feel like Badia found it a bit difficult playing against Wilson, and if anything, is what I tweeted earlier, I'm going to repeat this again. When I see all this nonsense, absolute nonsense, where some guys are trying to force this Badiashile versus Colwill debate, I just think, are you like stupid or something? Like, they're both young defenders. They both are going to make these types of errors. They're not perfect in their game. We've seen errors from Silva, decisive, from guys even older than them. Like, this is going to happen, and to force these debates about who's better than the other when they're both guys were still going to improve and get better, you know, in the future, Badiashile won't be having much difficulties against guys like Callum Wilson. You know what I mean? It shows you that there's still some development that, you know, naturally he's going to have to like grow into. It's the same thing for Colwill. So I just find these, like, you know what, your own fan base is like creating these little silly divides, not even the rival fans, your own fan base doing that. Absolutely baffles me. But if anything, listen, if you think one of these guys is better than the other, I think you're being you know, I don't know what you're seeing at all, to be honest with you. They're both the same quality, and they're both going to make these mistakes, and we have to support both. It really is that simple for me. But yeah, thank God for that mistake in the end. You know, thank God. You know, when the chips were down, I guess Poch, you know, the only thing he could do was play the most attacking lineup we've seen in God knows how long. And is it any surprise that they just about did enough within that small amount of minutes to get us back in this game? Pochettino, please, 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 please take something from this game. Relax with using these flipping centre-backs at full-backs. You know what I mean? You're killing Enzo. You know, you're killing our wide play. You're killing so much. You're making us a one-dimensional, boring possession team where we have no penetration, and we're forced to play Hollywood passes in behinds, or we're forced to find those rare transitional moments to break teams down. It's not enough, man. It's not enough. And don't let this game, don't be complacent with this result. But my friends, I think that's about everything I need to say. It wasn't the most inspiring win. We've seen this, but a win's a win. And in a knockout round game of football, I'll take them how they come. I will take it how it comes. And hopefully now, you know, we kick on a bit now that Nkunku now is back in this team. Confidence is back. 2 wins on the bounce. Can we make it 3? Time will tell. But yeah, hopefully things looking on the horizon again, my friends. So on that note, I am Nini FC. This is BlueLionsTV. I thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys tomorrow. And yeah, have a good night. Cool.